Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Olivia. Today I am doing 10 facts that you probably did not know about Iqaluit. So a little backstory if you're new here. My name's Olivia. For the past year and a bit I have been living in Iqaluit, Nunavut with my husband Devon, and I actually had our son Jude up there. So we both moved there separately, but we both moved there last summer, so summer of 2017. What year is it? Summer of 2018. We both moved there. So Devon got hired as a firefighter there, which is why we made the move. We're both from Ontario, so that's where I am right now at my parents' place. For the past couple of months, I've been here with Jude while Devon works in Iqaluit. If you want to know more about that, there is a whole video explaining what's going on, so I will leave that linked below. But let's just get into this video. So we had like a maybe 2-week period between Devon getting hired and moving there. So I did a ton of research right away, and there's not a whole lot out there. There's more even now than when I was looking, but compared to like other places down south, there's not a whole lot of information when you're researching a move there. So I like to make videos helping anyone else out that might be considering that. So these are a couple of facts about Iqaluit that I didn't necessarily find from doing research, or that I found to not be true once I got there. So if you have any questions, leave them below and I will do my best to answer. I get a ton of feedback. It's hard to get to all of it, so I will do my best. So number one is that most people actually drive. When I was doing research, it said like a lot of people don't have cars, a lot of people just have a snowmobile, a lot of people just have a four-wheeler, a lot of people don't have anything. I expected I expected there to be not as many cars, but there are the majority of what's on the road is a car. Even in the summer, no matter what season, most people, this is my perspective, this is just what I have experienced and what I think. I could be off, but from what I see, most people have a car, and that if people do have a car, they also have a snowmobile or a four-wheeler, and most of the time people use their car. Wildlife isn't commonly seen in town. I think when we tell people we live in Iqaluit, they are picturing something different than what it is. It is totally remote and totally off the grid, and it is this tiny little town in the middle of nature. But for the most part, wildlife doesn't come into the town. If it does, it's usually not great. Like if a polar bear is wandering through town, it's not really something you want to see. You want them to remain in their habitat and leave us alone. I've lived there for a full year. The only things I have seen are like Arctic hares, Arctic ravens. I think we saw like a Arctic fox one day, but yeah, like no, I haven't seen any polar bears, walrus, narwhals, anything. I haven't gone out into the land and seen any of that. So yeah. The price of a flight to get to Iqaluit is, I'm going to pop it up here because they just changed the prices and I don't know it off the top of my head, but a flight from Ottawa to Iqaluit, which is a direct 3-hour flight, is this much money. The two airlines that were up there just merged, so like since I've been back, so I'm not totally familiar with the pricing, but it is expensive and most people can't afford to just go to Iqaluit and visit. So unfortunately, that is a reason we haven't got many visitors from back home. But yeah, it is totally expensive, and it is a factor that you have to consider if you're planning on moving there, that you might not be able to come and go as much as you could in other places. Circumcisions are not performed in Iqaluit. This is something that has never really been done there. There are people living there that have got their sons circumcised, but they actually have to fly back to somewhere else and get someone to do it privately and pay for it. So it's not a service that's offered at the hospital there. The doctors there aren't really for it. Like they don't see a need for it. Neither do I, so there was no problem there. But yeah, that's kind of an interesting fact. It's not done there. So a lot of times when you see pictures of Iqaluit, you see these colorful houses like among the white snow. Not so much from pictures, but from being there, a lot of the houses look really rough and run down from the outside. This is because they have to be built to withstand the temperatures and the crazy weather. So a lot of them are like beaten up from the elements, but the insides don't usually match the outside. I was totally surprised seeing the insides of houses in Iqaluit. That is like ignorant of me to say, but you see the outsides and you expect them to be kind of run down on the inside or like dated or old, and they are, and I won't say this like all of them, there's obviously like different houses there, but I've been in some that are just like absolutely beautiful, like totally stunning. You could be anywhere in the world when you're inside these houses. Like they're modern and like there's design work, and yeah. There are actually 3 Tim Hortons in Iqaluit, but they are not what I know a Tim Hortons to be down south. So they're more of like a self-serve Tim Hortons. They're small, like the one at North Mart, for example. You get your own, some drinks they'll make for you, some you get your own, like you get your own coffee, you get your own donuts or whatever, and then you take it to the counter and pay. They're a lot smaller. There's not much of a selection offered, like it's just the basics, but yeah, they taste like Tim Hortons. There's not as much consistency, like some, and I'm not complaining, but some donuts are like totally huge and like iced like crazy. So they offer like donuts, cookies, a couple muffins, like Danishes, but you don't go there to get like a bagel or something. Like that kind of stuff isn't offered. So there's the one at North Mart, there's the one at the Quick Stop on the way to Apex, and then there's the one at the, I don't even know what it's called, the other one. So the tide variance of Frobisher Bay is one of the greatest in Canada. The record is actually 11.85 meters. So it changes twice a day. I guess it goes up and down. And it is like my favorite part of Iqaluit. Going to Apex, which is a town right beside Iqaluit. It's where the Hudson Bay trading post was, and they have a big beach. But going there on low tide is one of the coolest things you can do. I'm so lucky my family got to be there for that, but it just, you can walk forever, and there are like little sea creatures to look at. I say little sea creatures, I mean like tiny microscopic little shrimp things. But yeah, like there's just, I don't know, it's my favorite thing about Iqaluit probably is low tide and Apex. I don't know a ton about this, so I don't really want to say a whole lot about it because I could be wrong, but as far as I know, there is a berry picking day in Nunavut. So it's not like a day, but all the government employees, I believe, get a day off to go pick berries, because this is something that is like done historically in Nunavut, and culturally it's something you do. Like when the berries are ripe, you spend the day and you pick them, and you make like jams and stuff out of them to last you the winter. So you are, again, as far as I know, you are allowed to take a day and go berry picking. So a lot of people assume that it is dark all winter, and that is not the case. On December 21st, the shortest day of the year, the sun rises around 9:30 and then sets around 1. So that's the shortest amount of daylight. But like leading up into that and then past that, it changes really rapidly. So we didn't find a problem with it. Like, it is crazy how dark it is, but you just, like, you're there, it's gradual, you get used to it, and it picks back up pretty quickly. So, but yeah, that is the shortest day of the year. That's how much sunlight they get on that. If you're interested in seeing sunlight, I do have a video where I show like a time lapse of the view out of our window so you can see the daylight. I'll link that below. So there are cabs in Iqaluit, and people use them a ton to get around. Something that's different about cabs in Iqaluit versus cabs down here is there is a flat rate. So $8, they just put it up $1 per person, and that gets you anywhere in town. I've honestly never even taken a cab there. I haven't had to. I'm not sure if Apex is included in that. I want to say it is. But then I also hear like some cabs don't go to Apex, which is like a 10-minute drive. So yes, $8 per person, but they will like stuff them full. So you're not necessarily having a cab to yourself from where they get you to where they drop you off. You could easily be picking people up on the way. There is a summer in Iqaluit. I think it's like a common misconception that it's just winter and snow all the time. That is not the case at all. The summer there felt more like a fall to me. I was never in like shorts and a t-shirt. I was in pants and like a long sleeve. But I think the highest it got up to this year was like 21 or 22, which is hot there. Like you were sweating. And it's just beautiful, like perfect weather. That is my ideal summer, an Iqaluit summer. Yeah, there's grasses, there are bugs, there are like plants. It is totally green. I will put up a picture here of what it looks like in the summer, or you can go back and look at some videos. I do have them. I'll link those below too. If you're interested in all of this and you haven't already seen them, I have a whole playlist on my Iqaluit videos that you would probably find interesting. And the last one, I actually have done 12, is that there is a brewery in Iqaluit. So I'm actually wearing the New Brew sweater. This is Devon's. So there's a brewery in Iqaluit. It is really, really cool. They've done a really good job inside. It's like modern and sleek and funky. You can go there, you can order food in. They have, when I was there, they had, I think they have 4 beers that like are always on. They sell them in the restaurants down there, and I think the liquor store. I'm not positive on that last one, but I think they sell them in the beer store. But yeah, they're doing really well. You can be sitting in this brewery and like you could be in downtown Toronto. Like it's really, really well done. They did a good job. So yeah, if you're in Iqaluit, check out New Brew. They've got really cool merch too. Like they've got clothing, they've got mugs, cups, like Devon's got a cool hat. I don't know what else they have now, but that is a good like souvenir if you end up in Iqaluit. So thank you so much for watching. I did a poll and this was what you guys wanted to see first. I do have a couple more like lists of 10 videos on Iqaluit to do while I'm in Ontario because those are easy. I can just sit down and talk. I don't have to be in Iqaluit to do them. So stay tuned for those. I will get those done as soon as I can. Life's just busy here and YouTube has kind of taken a back seat, but I'm hoping to get back into it. So thank you so much for watching. Leave me any comments or questions below. And I hope that if you want to, you make it to Iqaluit one day because it is one of the most beautiful, interesting, cool places I have ever been. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.